authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
Rally to Read!
You're listening to Milwaukee Black Talk on 101.7 FM.
The Truth.
And 1510 AM. W269DL. Milwaukee. A Milwaukee Black media company.
Live, super live. Man, we are live. Fresh from Milwaukee. If you dropping in from wherever else in the world, welcome to the Grapevine with me, Manan Sabir. And we got a real live show for you. So today we're launching another edition of Mindful Movement Mondays. If you haven't minded the movement, you're not on the Monday. You probably hitting Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but any other day other than Mindful Movement Mondays, you in the wrong day. It's not just fitness, not just motivation, but transformation, because too many black men are walking around looking strong while silently collapsing internally. We know how to survive, we know how to grind, perform, but do we know how to rest? Do we know how to proceed and process the pain? Do we know how to heal? Today, we connect the mind, the body, and the money, because your stress affects your health. Your health affects your focus, and your focus affects your future. So today, we have a gentleman by the name of Alfonso Watkins. And as we are getting prepared to set him up to get on the mic, I have to remind everybody that as long as it's Mindful Monday, Mindful Movement Monday, we have to remember that I have a challenge out to all of Milwaukee. Matter of fact, not just all of Milwaukee, but everybody that's listening to the Grapevine on the Truth Station 101.7 FM. And if you are a dedicated listener, you probably heard me say that I need to have everybody talk to somebody so we can get at least 100 subscribers on our channel. And that was probably a week and some change ago. So I'm going to ask Zech if we had 100 subscribers.
I can try to check.
Zach is going to check if we had 100 subscribers. Now, the challenge is, if we did have 100 subscribers, then I get to do 100 push-ups. I'll do 100 push-ups. As a matter of fact, if we don't get 100 subscribers now, then next week, if we get 100 subscribers, then I'll double 100 times 2. I'll do 200 push-ups on air, live. So actually, I might even challenge Ray Nitty to do 200 push-ups with me. I mean, he may do 2. I'll do 198. How's that sound for everybody? No comments? If you have any additional chat, please hit us up on the Truth Radio on the Grapevine 101.7. Hit us in the chat. Or you can give us a shout, 1-833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. And if you are a part of our Mindful Movement Monday show clan, make sure you brush up on those push-ups. Now today we have Alfonso Watkins coming on really soon. And I had a bunch of questions. As a matter of fact, he's a psychologist. And I had a bunch of questions that I wanted to ask him, especially because I know we are in most communities are dealing with something that is hard, and possibly one of the most intriguing dynamics in our community, which is trauma. Excuse me. Trauma is for most of us. Trauma is for most of us a cycle that we are sometimes always in a loop of. And I know for a fact that working in the community, especially if we're thinking about our children, and I'll speak to the children. If we're working in the community, and I'll speak to the children, of course, we have a history of producing generational DNA of trauma and passing it down to our kids. For example, this is just one example, and I heard someone say this on an Instagram live I was listening to a while ago, and he's a very, I guess, prominent person in a specific community, and he said that his child has special needs, and somebody asked whether or not, why does he speak to his child a specific way. And so he says that now he not only speaks to his child a specific way, but he also gives him a pop on his hand or his leg whenever he feels like he needs correction. And my thought around that is that, if we are to develop some level of strong character, I think one of the ways is, especially for our community, one of the ways is dropping out of the generational harm. That's one of the ways in which we can not produce children who are harming other folks. The other way is, and I'm bringing these up in generalities because I actually want Brother Alfonso to address this. So one of the other ways is for us as parents to produce strong tone while talking with our children. A lot of times I go into the store and I see parents that are under some level of stress because they want to get in and out of the store without a child touching a candy bar, or they want to get in and out of the store without the child running away or running around. Without running around. So I think one of the best ways for our parents to one of the best ways for us to address trauma in the present and also present sense is look at the way we talk to our children. Talking to a child in a really harsh tone, and we all have done it as parents. Talking to your child in a harsh tone without them understanding, even if you are playing, if they don't understand that tone, can be misconstrued as them being zinged by you. It's giving them a ding. So I've seen back to the store, I've seen parents, especially moms, give the child a tone in which they had to kind of come out of their femininity, right, and kind of ruffle the child's feathers. And that is something that I'm really concerned about in our community, that I want to talk to Mr. Alfonso Watkins about. I think that it's an issue in our community, and it definitely needs to be addressed. I think the other thing is whether or not, and I'm gonna kind of bring this up really softly, is school. Are the schools addressing trauma are the schools addressing trauma? Like, period. Are they? Is this a part of the dynamic in schools now, or have the counselors and the social workers kind of taken a softer approach in relationship to addressing trauma? And are they culturally addressing trauma? So once we get Alfonso Watkins on the horn, we're gonna figure out what does trauma look like in our community and how can we address it. We'll be right back after these messages.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like, it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Welcome back with that fire beat. This is the Truth Radio 101.7, and you are back with your host, Manan Sabir. That's me, and this is the Grapevine. If you need to call in, please call in 833-212-1017. We have on our line the brother, the great brother, Alfonso Watkins. How you doing, brother?
Peace and blessings to you, family. I'm doing good, man. Good to see you, Brian.
Good to see you, too. So I'm going to get right into it because, we don't have a lot of time, and that's almost indicative of our lifespan on Earth, right? So real quick, and maybe not as quick, but who are you?
Man, I am the son of Brian and Bernice Watkins, man. They migrated to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, man, in the late 40s and 50s, man.
Yeah.
And I'm a product of the city of Milwaukee. I was part of the that integration piece in the 70s that disrupted the flow of our community, our families, and our culture. I bear witness to the reality of when the manufacturing jobs and industrial jobs left our communities. Again, it just destroyed the fabric of our community and our families, man. I watched some very good, strong brothers and sisters, man, go from working every day, man, to being strung out on crack. Crack was really the first drug in our community where Black women abandoned their children.
Right.
So when you ask who I am, I'm a product of all of that, man.
So why do Black men struggle to express emotion?
When you talk about the condition or the state of mind of Black men, you first have to acknowledge the insanity of the European male. So a lot of times we want to start a conversation on talking about the victim. And a lot of times based on who's listening, we're always saying we pulling out the race card or the victim card, but we ain't born this way, man.
Right.
So there's a reality to how we are being socialized within this cultural orientation, within the construct of this European male. So Black males, we have always been under attack here in this ideal and experiment called America. So when we start talking about our emotional development and our emotional growth, it is in a state of arrested development. Because we haven't been given, or we haven't had the opportunity of the freedom of expression.
Right.
And historically, when Black men have expressed their freedom of expression, they have been killed or lynched or assassinated. So there's a reality to why we struggle and again, Du Bois, man, when Du Bois was talking about the duality of consciousness, so double consciousness, that's exactly what he was talking about. We as Black men go through it's a crisis within our identity as it relates to navigating through a system that is constantly assaulting or attacking our identity. So we struggle with being able to express emotions and nurture ourselves and our women and children in a way that is healthy. Now, I'm not necessarily generalizing.
Right.
There are some brothers, man, who have acquired the resilience to be healthy or strive to be healthy.
Right.
But then there's a large percentage of brothers who haven't acquired those, I'm gonna say those emotional competencies or emotional intelligence to do that.
So is this the reason why you became a psychologist?
Well, man, I appreciate that, man. I'm a licensed clinical psychotherapist. I'm right up under the psychologists and psychiatrists.
Exactly.
I'm able to provide the services that are in DMS5 that the diagnoses are.
Yes.
So with that said, I got a master's degree in educational psychology and a bachelor's degree in community education. But then I went and got licensed as a licensed professional counselor.
Right.
And no, I didn't choose this, man. This game chose me, man. Sometimes, man, when you submit to the will of the Creator, man, He moves you in directions and put you where He wants you to be.
Yes.
I started off in teaching, man. When I got out the military, man, I was going to school to teach and got a job at Malcolm X Academy over there when they was doing the Afrocentric program.
Yeah.
But once that experience working at Fulton, it was Fulton,
Robert
then it was
Fulton.
Malcolm X. So OGs know it is Fulton, and then you know it's Malcolm X.
Yeah.
But that experience gave me a little more insight to how poverty and again the impoverished conditions that I was working with those young brothers, what they was coming through, moved me into psychology. So it moved me out of the classroom and into the field of psychology.
So you have a lot of experience with young boys, especially Black young boys. Are Black boys taught? I think about like emotional suppression. Do we run away from emotional suppression?
I mean, I don't know if we necessarily run away from them. I just think we haven't been given or had the opportunity to develop in a way that is natural. So again, when you talk about the state of arrested development, and it's not just impacting Black boys, man, our baby girls, all of us are impacted by these circumstances and conditions that hinder our human development. So when you think about environmental and social conditions that we have to navigate through, it keeps us in a state of hypervigilance. And so in that hypervigilance, there's a chemical reaction and a chemical response to always having to be hyper alert, hypersensitive. So the brain never gets an opportunity to recalibrate, or we never get an opportunity to relax. So when you start talking about emotions, there's a physiological and biological response to again these environmental and social conditions, especially the toxic social conditions of living in poverty, man.
What is our because a lot of us somehow a lot of families have never seen a successful journey out of poverty. How does our past here in America help us understand how to leave poverty? What happens? Is there a disconnect?
Well, now when you when you asked me who I am and I gave you a historical context of who I am. Now there's a collective historical experience that we got to talk about when we talk about poverty and how poverty has impacted or hindered our human development or our divine, or not giving us opportunity to reach our divine human potential. So when you talk about in the 70s, man, before we integrated, those of us who are in our 50s and 60s that was part of that experience, we seen productive Black men and Black women.
Yeah.
Because when we was going to school, they was going to work.
Yeah.
So there was a reality to what that experience was doing for us in our community. We walked to school. So I mean, I can remember walking from 33rd and Hour to Townsend on 43rd and Sherman. We walked past the teachers' houses that we was being taught by.
Yeah. Yeah.
We walked past the dentist, the doctor. So our people lived in the community that we was in. So we witnessed that. So we're really the last generation that witnessed the productivity of our brothers and sisters when they had access to a job.
Yeah.
So when you think about what happened again when they moved those manufacturing jobs and them industrial jobs out of those urban areas, it just devastated the community.
Mm-hmm.
And so the hustle became that, man. Capitalism, the hustle. A lot of brothers and sisters didn't have access to jobs, and brothers was getting out of high school going get a good job. All that ended. So again, you got to, when we talk about this, Manad, we always got to look at it from a historical context.
Yes.
We always got to lay out the historical context, and that's what we got to educate our babies on, man. We got to help our babies understand how we got in this condition, because we ain't born like this, man.
No, we weren't. I know Naeem Akbar has a book called "The Psychological Effects of Slavery." We're living that book now, aren't we?
Yeah, man, we in it, man. And Dr. Joy DeGruy, man, her piece, man, post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Yes.
She really laid out some heavy pieces. I mean, Neely Fuller, man, his book on racism lays out a good construct for us to function out of. Dr. Amos Wilson.
Yes.
All of his books, man, lay out, like I say, a historical context. Now, as a clinician, man, our initial assessment is called biopsychosocial assessment.
Mm-hmm.
So we start off like that with a client, but we got to start looking at our collective experience and start looking at how we have evolved out of the conditions of chattel slavery from a spiritual, psycho-bio historical context. So a lot of times we start off the conversation talking about as a collective, then we move into the individual. I just think we need to stay grounded in talking about our experience from a collective experience.
And as we talk about our collective experience, make sure you give us a shout on our phone line, 833-212-1017. You're on the Truth Radio 101.7. This is the Grapevine with me, Manan Sabir. We're going to take a break and pay these bills. We'll be right back.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes, rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakomick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakomick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Yes, yes, yes. Welcome back to the Grapevine on the Truth Radio Station 101.7. I'm Anon Sabir, and we're going to get busy. I got plenty of questions, but we don't have a whole lot of time. Make sure you give us a shout. 833-212-1017. We're back with Alfonso Watkins, psychotherapist. Correctly, I always call him the psychologist, but man, you deal with the mind. And I had a question. Okay. What are some signs that a black man kind of exudes when he is mentally exhausted before he like completely breaks down? This is a selfish question.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a number of different signs, man, when we get to a place where we are overwhelmed, depending on your level of resilience, depending on your coping mechanisms, depending on your ability to find support systems. All of that plays a factor, and you get to a place when you are unable to manage and regulate your emotional responses to the challenges of daily living. So a lot of brothers mask their circumstances with behavioral addictions. I mean, with sex, gambling. Some brothers go to the alcohol, to the weed. So like I said, there's a range of symptoms. I think brothers, when you start talking about a strength base, I think there's just a number of us who just acquire a coping mechanism where we just continue to work through it. Mm-hmm. And that's just been something that we've just had to do. But I think moving into this, coming out of COVID, I just think a lot of brothers have recognized the importance of their mental health and seeking out help, and not using things to mask what they are experiencing. So it's a lot of brothers doing. I mean, the Real Talks, the barbershop piece really blew up in the country, for brothers to go have a safe space to talk about what they're feeling and what they are experiencing. Even out here, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, but I'm out in Sun City, right. And it's more of a retired community right now. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's a lot of brothers that's coming in to get support, because now it's not taboo,
right?
So it's a lot. So like I said, there's a change in the perceptions and perspectives of what therapy is, what counseling is, and the benefits of it.
Do you think a lot of black men are depressed right now without even realizing it?
I think a lot of us are. Now, as a clinician, I normally don't go straight to the depression. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times depression, you internalizing like something wrong with you. But the depression is a result of suppression.
Okay.
Depression is the result of oppression. So there's a reality to how we engage with this from a neurolinguistics perspective. So a lot of brothers are dealing with being oppressed and don't have the coping skills to manage what's oppressing them.
Right.
And then a lot of brothers, we suppress a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And so in the suppression of a lot of things, we internalize a lot of things. And a lot of times that shows up, it comes out misdirected.
Right.
In certain phases and spaces. So again, I don't necessarily go straight to the depression. Yes, I think a lot of brothers are dealing with depression, but I think we need to, as a clinician, I try to help my clients understand that there's a spectrum before you get to a stage of depression.
Yeah.
There's a spectrum. in helping individuals understand what oppression is, and then how you suppress what you're dealing with, which can lead to depression.
So do you see people from across the range of folks coming in? You see the gangster, you see the boardroom person, you see the husband, you see the son of the husband who comes in. They might be coming into the same person. You see them all.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I do a lot of work with a lot of vets, man. A lot of vets, man. Air Force, Marine, Navy. What's the other one, man? I'm missing one.
Yeah, Air Force, Marine, Navy.
Army.
With
Army. I always get an Army a hard time. Yeah, I get Army a hard time. They think they real, but they.
That's all
but
right.
Yeah, but yeah, man. I'm working in the spectrum, man. So I've worked with millionaires, man. I've worked with entertainers. I've worked with professional athletes, pilots, and like I say, the homeless. I mean, the Native American brothers and sisters, man. A lot of them that got caught up in the game with this meth and this fentanyl.
Yeah.
So so when it comes to I'm gonna say the spectrum of demographics that I've had the experience to work with, I'm well versed in that space, man.
Since and I coined today Mindful Movement Mondays, and I had a question in relationship to movement too, because I think everything is connected. And I know you're a holistic thinker. What actually happens psychologically when a person begins to consistently work out from your perspective?
And I'm living that. You know what I'm saying? So it gives your body the opportunity to produce healthy dopamine and serotonin. It gives your body to opportunity to move and channel energy.
Right.
So the working out, it gives your body an opportunity to detox because you're sweating.
Right.
So there's just a wealth of benefits of a lifestyle of working out. Now, then the other piece of that is your nutrition. So the value of living a healthy lifestyle and drinking water with lemon and limes in it to get to the alkaline, eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, intermittent fasting. So all of those benefits of working out a healthy nutritional lifestyle. And then there's reality to the spiritual aspect of working out, man.
Yeah.
Being able to go into a space and work out, and just during my workouts, I'm meditating, man. I'm not in the gym, lollygagging, man, looking at the eye candies. I mean, it gets difficult sometimes, but the reality of the reality of being able to go into that space and meditate while you in movement and moving that energy. So yeah, man, that's critical, man.
So have you seen fitness if we just talk about fitness, right, rather than the aesthetics? Have we seen fitness? Have you seen fitness save lives?
Oh, for sure, man. Yes. In the work that I do, man, I'm a non-traditional type therapist, man. So, and what I mean by that, I use a number of different approaches working with the individuals that allow me in this intimate space with them.
Right.
So there's a reality to helping individuals begin to always suggesting my clients that they go get their blood work done so that they can find out what their blood levels are.
Right.
Because your mental health is impacted by your nutrition and the minerals that you are in, that you're digesting. The other piece of that, once they find out what their blood levels are, I talk to them about the reality. It's called biochemical nutrient therapy. And all that means is helping individuals engage in if your protein, your zinc, your amino acids, your folic acids, your iron, you got to get it to it's like a baseline.
Right.
So you can go on a particular diet to enhance that, and you start to feel better. But also what I try to get, especially a lot of my older clients, to get them to start off doing water aerobics, because a lot of them jump right off into getting on the treadmill.
Yeah, they jump right into the deep water.
Yeah, right. So I try to help them understand and start off in the water aerobics so that they can start getting their ligaments, getting their ligaments and joints and muscles used to that. And it's just a real good cardio exercise, but it gets you prepared to start, walking and being on the treadmill. So that's something that I do in the context of the clients that I work with.
We have a caller on line 1. We have Eddie on line 1.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
Eddie, what's going on?
I got a new phone, so can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
One
you.
of my friends is complaining.
Okay. We can hear you.
So where do we start with this? So I think, and I'm going to say it, I've been on the station for 5 years, and people are always upset with me every day, all the time, but I'm trying to speak the truth to this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So African-American urban behavior is different from African culture, boys from 16 to 36, let's say, and European culture, the blacks that grow up in Amsterdam or Paris, France, or Rome, Italy, they don't seem to have this aggressive kind of chronic propensity towards violence. And we would have to say that, people are talking, even white liberals are starting to kind of wake up like the black violence is a problem. And when the statistic is for every one white guy from 16 to 36 who commits a homicide, there are 62 black men from that age group who commit homicides. Now, that's not 62% more. That's, 62 times the amount. And we have to also remember, for every one person who is shot or stabbed and killed, there are 8, 9, or 10 that are shot, but now the fellow's in a wheelchair. Shot, but now he's wearing a colostomy bag. Shot, but now he can't see out of his left eye. And that stuff impacts lives, okay? So there's something distinctly American about this. And the evidence about this is, like I've said this before, when you have a top-notch athlete, he's a young man, he grew up always in an urban area, streets of Detroit, streets of Cleveland, streets of Philadelphia. When he signs that big contract, as down as he is with being black and telling everybody he loves black culture, he moves to a white neighborhood, and he often grabs a white woman, and he's trying to kind of graft himself into white culture.
Well, let's talk about
because
that.
of the violence.
Yeah, Eddie,
Okay.
Eddie, let's talk about that, because I want to give our time, and this is you brought up some interesting points, but I want to give some time back to our guest Alfonso
Sure.
Watkins, who is our psychotherapist. But yes, stay on the line. We're gonna
got it.
We're gonna make sure that we give time to Brother Alfonso.
Sure.
You have some good points. Thank you.
Okay.
A lot of times when when our European family talk about their perception of the reality of what we are experiencing being black in America, I think a lot of times many of them are not quite informed about what our experience has been. So when we talk about violence, European males have always historically been some of the most violent people on the planet. And so there's a reality to when we start throwing out statistics, these statistics are many times they're skewed, they're not accurate. But when we start talking about what has happened to the black male in America, there's a reality to biological and chemical warfare. So and let me give y'all from an epigenetics perspective. That's why I'm always talking to individuals about their blood levels. Now, historically, our communities were infiltrated with these lead. So lead plays a major influence on how the brain develops. So when I was working in Milwaukee, I would always tell my black parents to go get their babies' blood lead levels checked. And they need to get their own lead level checked, because the damage that lead does to the brain, it's irreversible. But also the damage that it does to the brain, it causes individuals to be violent. So there's reality to when we start talking about what we're seeing, there's a chemical imbalance that is happening within these environments that our people are in.
And that's
so
yeah.
Yeah. So there's a reality to the behaviors that we're seeing in black males in America has to do with the socialization of being in America. We're not born this way. So there's something happening in the socialization of black males in America.
And that's
and that's go ahead, Manan.
And that's where we're gonna pick that up after these bills are paid on the Grapevine in the Truth Radio Station Studios 101.7. We're gonna come right back to that point. Hang tight.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a united way. Improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to health care and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Yeah, I like that beat, Zach. Hey, we're back on the Grapevine with Brother Alfonso Watkins. Pick up where we left off, and then we're going to take a caller real quick.
Yeah, and like I said, I just when we start talking about violence, man, like I said, I just think it does us as black males, we tend to be the face of that. And I just think a lot of times people buy into that narrative. But the reality of violence throughout from a historical context, in the 1920s and the 1930s, during the abolitionist movement, European males was killing each other up. I mean, just barbarically. So there's a reality to what's happening in these different eras, in these different communities. So again, even right now, the reality of when you start talking about mass shootings, that's European males. that's doing these mass shootings, that's going to these schools and shooting innocent women, baby, and children. So there's a reality to something is happening in the socialization of this ideal and experiment of America. And we as Black males tend to be the face of that, but it's unjust and it's unfair and it's unrealistic.
It seems like it's a deliberate propaganda machine that puts Black males at the face of that. Am I correct, or am I off base?
But it is the propaganda, because after the Civil War, one of the first movies that they created was called Birth of a Nation.
Right.
And so the Birth of a Nation was the beginning of the demonizing of Black males, of criminalizing Black males. So again, when you start talking about the propaganda started in like I say, in about the 1800s, and it has been persistent and consistent since then.
Let me take this caller real quick. Al, you're on line 2. Al.
Well, yes, good. Yes, first thing I want to say is Black people can never be the leader in crime, because when you look at how America was built, it was built off of violence. White violence. And I hate to let the last caller know, y'all are leader in all crimes, from murder, rape, pedophilia to bestiality, and let's not forget it's fraud. Y'all raise y'all kids with violence. Who buys a 7-year-old a Desert Eagle? Who buys Johnny, who's 15 years old, that they know who's going to be a school shooter, AR-15? And I find it funny, because when you look at all the massacres that happened, it came from white racist women lying. But that does not stop y'all from playing the victim, okay? So Black people can never be the leader in violence. The only problem with our brothers is they have given up, and they want the benefits, but they're not willing to walk through the valley of hell to create their heaven on earth, because they are the only one with the master key. That's why these racist white people always play the victim when they get caught on their violence. And when you look at their history and Black people history, our history ain't dark. Your white history is very dark. What grandfather take their kids to shoot and behead little children? Not Black folks. So don't put your detriment, your failures, and how some of you were raised on
Al.
Black people. Take your Christianity too. Bye.
Thank you, Al. Definitely appreciate it. Brother Alfonso Watkins, we are running out of time. However, I know this is just part 1. Am I right?
For sure, brother. I'll definitely come back, man.
Give me what we can do as a group of people, what we can do right now, today, to start that 180 turn, to turn ourselves into superhumans.
I think it's critical, man, that the men and Black men and Black women, emotional maturity and emotion compass, that go into a room and resolve some of our confusion in our relationship. Our children need to see us working collectively together. Our children need to see us working collectively together to solve the problems that they're facing. So I think that's something that we can do now. Right now, man, this movement of this divide and conquer between the Black man and the Black woman is hindering our progress. I think we need to spend more time talking about how do we repair the relationship between Black men and women? How do we begin to have more forums and conversation about the reality of the institution of family? And I think the other piece of that is, I think we have to create, I ain't gonna say I think, I know, we have to create a rites of passage program for our boys and girls to help them understand the role that they have in the family and in the community, but also really to help them understand the importance of sex, reproduction, intimacy, so that we can start to help them be equipped before they even engage in the act of sex and intimacy, the responsibility that comes with producing another human. I think we need to really hone in on that so that we can break this cycle that we in.
I like that. And this is we have 2 minutes, and in this 2-minute piece, I always ask my guests, about rapid fire questions. And are you ready?
I'm with you, brother.
Cardio or weights?
Both.
Therapy session or hard workout after a stressful day?
Therapy session.
Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson?
Ali.
Most underrated mental health habit?
Cognitive intervention or journaling.
Yeah, I like that one. Okay. Morning workouts or late night workouts? I know who you are, so go ahead. You can answer this.
Oh yeah, the morning. The morning, man. The morning the best.
And last thing, finish this sentence. Healing begins when
one embraces the intimate relationship with a higher power.
Where can we find you, Mr. Alfonso Watkins?
Man, I am in Phoenix, Arizona, brother. I ain't hard to find, man. I'm out here doing the same thing I was doing in Milwaukee, man.
That's right. You're on Facebook, working out all the time.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, man. I'm always just trying to, put out some. I'm really, man, engaged in how do we become more solution focused, man. We can identify all the problems, man. We can pull up the statistics. We can do all that, but we got to start becoming more solution focused in our cognition, so that our brain can come up with a solution instead of identifying the problem and talking about the problem all the time.
Let's find these solutions, Mr. Alfonso Watkins. Been knowing you for a really long time, and I appreciate you being my brother. I appreciate you being a brother of the community. And we will do the part 2, 3, and 4 when time allows. Thank you so much for being on the Grapevine with me, your brother. We're on the Truth Radio. Love you, brother.
You asked, and it's back. The original Cubano fan favorite has returned to Cousin Subs. And if you know, you know. It starts with tender pulled pork, our original recipe, and layers in savory ham, Genoa salami, and melty Swiss, grilled together for that hot, craveable bite. Then topped with fresh onions, tomatoes, pickles, and brown mustard and mayo, all on our signature bread. It's the fan favorite you've been waiting for. Right. The Cubano, back at Cousin Subs, but only for a limited time. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
You're listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL, Milwaukee, a Milwaukee Black media company.
Mixing, remixing.
I'll take
Great
beautiful, brother. I'm a fill-in.
This is what it's about. Fill-ins, the grapevine and the fill-ins. Hey, look, this is Mindful Movement Mondays. Today we're talking about the connection between movement, mental health, discipline, stress, and healing. Because many of us are carrying stress in our backs, anxiety, stomachs, trauma in our sleep, and exhaustion in our minds, and sometimes the body just starts screaming. Mm-hmm. When the spirit has been whispering all far too long. Ray.
Yes, sir.
Man, that was, I think the information from that last segment is very interesting, but I wanted to know, You've been under some stress.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Been under a little stress.
Are you a little stressed right now?
I'm pretty good right now. Healthy stress.
Does smiling, because we're smiley guys.
Yeah,
we're actually, this is a smiley type of atmosphere here.
Yeah, for sure.
Are we? Does it look like we're under stress, or are we masking things? What do you think?
So I know for me, a lot of times the smile is a mask.
Yeah.
I wear, just kind of to present to the outside world that everything is okay, while trying to balance, all types of different fires going on the inside, and different emotions and mental struggles. But you still got to try to show up in a positive manner in the world. So that's why I think I try to smile a lot. Not like I'm just full of this stress and I'm about to explode, but I do wear the smile as a mask sometimes.
Where do you when you are going throughout the day, do you feel? Sometimes I feel stress in my stomach. Like even today, it's been a lot going on, and I know as the day wears on, I'm just like holding everything in until I explode outwards. You ever been like that though?
Yeah, absolutely. You feel it in your stomach. I think for me, a lot of stress is retained like right behind your eye sockets, and in your head you feel, or the back of your head, right. You feel like a little stress tension. That's why I feel it a lot more. And then sometimes stress for me shows up in like a physical manifestation of like actually being sick.
Right.
To where it's like, dang, I need to sit down for 48 hours and just let this feeling pass through. But so it shows up in a couple different ways for me.
Man, chronic stress is real though.
Absolutely.
That I think if we look at like people living in survival mode, a lot of moms, a lot of people who are single, and a nuclear family, you can be in that survival mode, and you're always constantly like hunting for the next thing.
Yeah.
And I recognize that you can recognize that, from afar, especially if you've ever been in survival mode. Even if you're comfortable, you recognize that a person running back and forth trying to do things almost like they have ADHD or some whatever type of, they're in survival mode.
Yeah.
How do you ever been? You ever been in survival mode like that?
I'm gonna say this, and it may be an unpopular take.
Yeah,
I think as black men, black women, black people in general, I feel like there's always some sort of survival mode that we're in, right? No matter how well off we think we are, no matter how successful we think we are, there's still this experience of feeling like, oh, I'm still in survival mode, right? It doesn't have to be financially. It could be like, okay, I'm walking out the house, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get pulled over, you know what I'm saying? And not saying every encounter with law enforcement is a negative one, but there is, like, I have to be honest, there is a sense of anxiety that comes over you, and you go into this, like, survival mode of like, okay, what's the right responses? How do I make sure this is a interaction where everybody just goes back to their respectful places?
Right. I remember if you bring up cops, I remember one night I was coming from a friend's house, and I got pulled over by the cops. And it was about like 1:30. And I had a Ford Taurus station wagon, and at the time, I was moving my clothes, and I had a whole bunch of bags, stuff in the car, and I had the stuff in there, and I was gonna go put the stuff in my mom's basement or something like that, right? And cop pulled me over. And
these bags, what you got in these bags?
Oh, listen, it was close, but right before, as I'm going through an alley coming from my friend's house, and I hear whoop, whoop, whoop. And I hear like cops all over the neighborhood. And I'm thinking, oh, that's not for me. So I pull to the end of the alley, and I see this cop come racing to my car. So he tells me to pull around to the right side of the street. Pull around to the right side of the street. He turns his lights on, tells me to step out the car. Initially my thought is like, I don't got to step out the car. There's no warrant for my arrest. But I knew it was just me and him.
Yeah.
And so he came out real aggressive. So I was like, all right, I don't have anything in this car. He pulls me out, and like, I'm nervous now. And he questions me or whatever. He says, we had a report that suspicious vehicle, blah, blah, and you fit the description of somebody who.
Ain't it crazy how we always fit the description?
I was fitting the description. I fit the description like clearly, because he was like, you fit the description of somebody who slashed a woman's throat.
Oh,
and I was like, nah, that ain't me. That is not me, right? And so I tell him that, and
how did they get your description to even say you fit
exactly?
That's a wild question.
They made up a whole, they had made up a whole story. So I'm in the handcuffs. He throws me in the back of the car, and I don't know if the window was rolled down or not, but he goes into my car, and I can see him like just rip things up, like in my car, in the back of the car. Everything's being thrown all over the place. In the radio, I can hear we got him. We're chasing him.
Yeah,
those words. We got him. We're chasing him. Come all units, blah, 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 whatever they said. He takes me out, uncuffs me. I'm pushed to the side. He throws my keys in the field and gets in his car, takes off. So now
you got to go look for your keys.
I look for my keys at night in a field, and my car is wrecked.
Terrible.
Wrecked. So that in turn, that initial, because I was younger, that initial kind of real life moment made me super weary of cops. Now my father, on the other hand, he was a different story. He's the cuss out. He was the cuss out king. Yeah. He was like, you pulled him over for a speeding ticket, he's cussing you out. He don't care, right? Me, on the other hand, I'm not my daddy.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to cuss you out to,
create no.
Yeah,
for
absolutely
sure.
not. Mm-mm.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I definitely remember an experience I had when I was younger, actually, 18 years old. And I will say I was on the way to the lakefront to participate in traffic and cruise, right? But I also understood the laws of cruising.
Right.
Cruising, you have to be spotted more than once within a certain time frame, circulating a certain area. That's what the laws was back then. And they said, we're pulling you over for cruising. And I'm like, well, I just got down the hill. I ain't even made one lap yet, so I know you can't be pulling me over for cruising because I just got here.
Right.
And it's as if when you understand your rights, they try to get a little more aggressive to see if, you provoked to do some other thing. So he snatched me out the car, and I'm like, yo, I wasn't cruising. Where's your proof that I was cruising? You have not seen me circling this area more than a certain amount of times. Took me all the way back to I don't know what the district it is, but the police station on Locust and MLK.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Took me over there.
Yeah.
And just sat me in like the holding room for like an hour and then just released me. No ticket, no nothing like that. And it was just like, I'm like, dang, this is a terrible experience. When you verbalize that you know your rights and you it's not like I was being combative. I wasn't arguing. I was just like, hey, you got to, like, I just got here.
Right.
So I've always had that anxiety reaffirmed whenever I do get pulled over.
Do you feel like because I feel like this, like every time I work out or something like that, I feel that I'm getting those stresses off of me.
Yeah.
Like every time it feels like a super relief. Like, man, all this stuff goes through your head.
Yeah. For me, yes. Sprinting on the treadmill definitely is it makes me feel that release of that anxiety, that pressure. But for me, man, I like to meditate and sit in silence.
When did you start doing that?
So honestly, I will say my homie DJ Willie Shakes is who put me up on meditation. This had to be right around 2000, let's just call it 13.
Yeah.
Probably some of the darkest times. Bow had settled down, so the ebbs and flows of music. When everything is calm and ain't nobody around no more because you ain't in the club buying bottles. So you had that time of isolation.
You ever brought Ace of Spades though?
I've never bought an Ace of Spade bottle. No, I've been comped an Ace of Spade bottle for that was in my rider.
Okay,
but no, I've never physically purchased a bottle of Ace of Spade.
Okay, sorry. Let me keep.
No, you good, you good. So it was through those times, and he introduced me to. He was in LA at the time, dealing with stress of moving from Milwaukee to Los Angeles, chasing dreams and whatnot. And, it was good to have a homie that you could have these type of conversations with as a black man. But he introduced me to these guided meditation experiences that was being performed by Deepak Chopra and Oprah.
I remember those.
Yeah,
they
used to be like a 30-day meditation experience, right?
Yep.
So I started doing that, man. I was like, dang, this feel good, man.
Yeah.
And then I just continue to stick with it, and now I try to implement it in my life as much as I can, even if it's just 2 minutes to just sit in silence and breathe,
right,
and try to quiet that brain. I think our brains are like vehicles. It runs. But when do we turn it off for a second so it could cool down and just let the body reset, let the mind or the car, your vehicle reset for a second? So meditation, man, and then recording music. That's where I kind of like leave it all there. I leave it in the stillness, and I leave it in the vibrations of the music as well.
And we'll be right back. We're going to pay some bills. Man, we got Ray Nitty on the co-host machine in the Grapevine in the Truth Radio Station 101.7 98.7. Let's pay these bills.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're back in the Grapevine with Manan Sabir. That's me and my brother Ray Nitty in the co-host Machine Box.
What up?
Seat.
What up?
What's up? So we was just talking about if social media is destroying our peace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my opinion, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's destroying our peace, man.
Absolutely. Especially if we use it in the wrong ways as well.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to get lost in the web of social media.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It is. I recognize this is a really interesting topic, but I recognize that I had a friend who was telling me that some of his relationships broke up over the social media kind of piece, right?
Yeah.
And he was saying that his partner was addicted to social media so much that the partner happened to just utilize the influence of social media to, yeah. So I'm not going to go too far into that situation because they're probably listening. But yes,
telling my business.
Tell my business. But yeah, so social media is destroying a lot of pieces. Matter of fact, I reckon there's a professor, and I probably said this before, but there's a professor that took a study on social media and he correlated social media with the rise of teen suicide. And they said the moment social media came about, then teen suicide kind of started upticking.
Right. Right.
Have you recognized that too?
I definitely saw that study. I definitely noticed a rise in. I can't say that I've noticed a rise in suicide for teens, but I've definitely noticed a rise in. And not saying that it doesn't exist, right?
Right.
Because I do believe there is some sort of. I'm just saying I haven't really saw anything for that, me personally.
Right.
But I have seen a lot of young people talking about the mental stress that social media puts on their lives. Wanting to fit in or seeing all of their peers have all of these things on their highlight reels on social media and feeling like, they're using all of these filters to make their lips look juicy and all of this, you know what I mean? All of these other things. And it brings a sense of insecurity for it brings a sense of insecurity for some people, right?
Yeah.
And they start to judge their own lives based off of the things that they see.
Right.
So I just, try to encourage people that, don't always believe the highlight reel on social media.
It's comparison culture, man. I was in Miami, and look, let me tell you, in Miami, what happens is, especially like if you are in the tourist areas, so you already know about this. Like in Miami Beach, if you're living there, you know the influencers when you see them. So on Tuesday to Sunday night, maybe Monday morning, you get the influencers.
Yeah.
On Thursday to Sunday, you get the influencers. On Monday morning to Wednesday night, you get the regular person. Yeah. So when you see the influencer, you're like, oh my gosh, that's the influencer.
There on the weekend. Yeah.
Then you see him at Publix. Or you see him at Walgreens.
Just normal life.
Normal life. And then you see him at, going into the Botox injection place, and they're like, they're looking swollen.
Yeah.
But we already know that they have to repeat this process over and over again, while also going broke.
Yeah.
Building their influence and their brand.
Yeah.
These people are literally they're the top tier of us trying to compare ourselves to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Comparison culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it wrecking us? I think it is.
I think it's definitely detrimental to us. I think it's easy to just say social media, right?
Right.
But I think it's how we use it, how we overuse social. So using myself for an example, right?
Right.
I've found myself just opening and closing apps, just scrolling, just like a robot, like not even looking for nothing, bro. Just Instagram, TikTok, boom, just scrolling, boom, then out of there, then back to what I was doing. And then 2 seconds later, pick up your phone. It's like, or you see a little notification, you got to run to your phone and pick it up because you feel like, I don't want to miss whatever that notification. And it's just Temu. You know what I mean? Trying to tell you, open this prize.
With the fake jewelry.
Yeah. So
the Chad Ochocinco's jewelry.
I think it is doing a detriment to our society because everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be liked.
Right.
I say it's them likes is probably one of the most dangerous drugs right now, man.
Is it?
I think so. The social media likes.
Yeah.
Trying to get them little hearts.
Yeah.
And them followers and the blue checks and all of these things. Man, people like look at it. People doing all kinds of crazy things for the likes and to go viral.
Is it normal? I mean, now it's normal. It's become a part of life. Like
I still not knocking anybody. I also want to use his drop, something he says as a drop for the truth.
Yeah.
But it's a guy, he literally goes in Walmart and pours cereal and milk on himself.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, it's the truth. And it's like, I don't want that to be my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just anywhere just pouring flour on me and milk and giving a positive message, but that's the thing that you have to use to catch people's attention. And I'm like, man, is the message not as valuable without the antics? You know what I mean? So I feel like, okay, the message gets lost because of all the antics that we see with social media.
Yeah, our kids are addicted to it too. I've seen kids like have complete meltdowns just because they couldn't get the screen,
couldn't get in,
or
lost their account or something.
Right? Yeah.
And I understand that too, because for some of these influencers, that is their business. Right. You know what I mean? So I could sit here and humble myself and say, like, some people do have a livelihood that they need these pages so they could provide for their families and do the things that they do.
There was this guy, another researcher, who said that the majority of apps are geared towards people who have feminine qualities and or are women. And they said because and if you can even look at the app, and the app itself has like, you know, a rounded quality. It's not jagged, you know what I'm saying? Like some roughneck dude, you know, that just came from the gym, right? Yeah. Like it looks
smooth.
Good. It's smooth, right? You know,
it's even aesthetically pleasing.
Right. You look at your phone, you know, you got to take care of it. It look like, you know, if you crack your phone, you're definitely going to iBreaks, you fix, or iFix, you break, whatever, you break, iFix. You go on there.
Absolutely. Man, even the phones
I'm not
itself
trying to drop
is
it for, you know.
No, even the phones itself is a trap, in my opinion. Like, why would we make phones out of glass? Why? Why? Why are iPhones like? Why would we? The most dropped thing from humans is what you either drop your keys, your phone.
Yep.
And it's like, let's make it glass.
Yeah. So you don't drop it.
So, but you
gonna
drop it. And then we do things like don't put a case on it. So now we have to go to this. You break, I fix, whatever companies that fix these things. I just think we've become so reliant on these products and these apps and so forth that we will just ignore so many things and just continue to follow the herd.
There's a saying that you got to treat your, you know, there's a saying that you have to treat your woman, the lady that you're with.
Yeah.
In terms of if you're a guy of this genre, treat your woman like glass. Treat your wife, your partner like glass.
Don't want to drop her.
Don't want to drop her. Don't want to fumble.
Might break it.
Might break.
Can't put it back together.
You can't put.
Love you, baby.
Love you, baby. I can't. We about to go to you break, I fix.
Don't go anywhere. Straight up.
You know what? Yeah, I don't know. Our phone culture is really disturbing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure it out, but the more we try to figure it out, the more deeper they go. They go really, really deep.
Oh, yeah, it's only gonna get more. These ain't even phones no more. These are like computers in our pocket, you know. So
they spying on us too. But we're gonna be right back. We're gonna take these breaks, these next couple of breaks. We're gonna pay some bills. We'll be right back. This is The Truth Radio 101.7 The Grapevine.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 101.7 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
We're back in the Grapevine with Manan Sabir, that's me, and our dear brother Ray Nitty in the co-host machine booth, Mike. Hey, call in 833-212-1017. This is Mindful Movement Mondays. Triple M. We're talking health, wellness, healing. Do you hide in the bathroom, man?
I probably, yeah.
Who hides in the bathroom?
Yeah, I definitely spend a little bit extra time in the bathroom. Yes, I could say that.
Yeah. And it's not for the obvious. It's like, I need a break.
Yeah, it's just a little solitude.
Yeah. It's like, it reminds me of like when you know how you're pull up to the house and you sit into the driveway or whatever, you sit in your car.
Yeah.
You just, especially if like, you know, your kids are older, but if you got little kids, man, you like, all right, look, it's almost like preparing for war. Like you got your flap jacket, you got your, you know, this, that, you tapping all the sides.
Yeah.
You do that?
Man, maybe not so much like sitting in the driveway.
Yeah.
Maybe like before I leave whatever destination I'm about to leave to head home, I'll sit there and just decompress for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I leave the station, you know, I'll sit in the parking lot for 10, 15 minutes, just breathe, decompress, think about how the show went, think about, okay, what could be improved on? I'm like, oh, this was good, or, you know, you could correct on this, and then just sit with that for a second before I enter back into the world.
Yeah, but that's a mental health break though too. You know what I'm saying? Like you got people who are going home to a real life, almost live family reunion.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like
turn.
It's 6 kids. They run around. They're like, Dad.
And
Dad,
that's just the kids. That ain't even the cousins. I had siblings and cousins and aunties and uncles living with us all at the same time.
How many altogether was it in the crib?
It depends, man. My mama a Caribbean woman from St. Lucia.
So she was like, come on. And
yeah, you know, she kind of paved that path for family members to come to the America and get naturalized in their citizenship the right way.
Yeah.
So we always had a full house, and you know, I didn't mind it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed having family around. So I feel like at one time, man, it might have been close to 10 to 12 people at the crib.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and everybody's doing amazing now. My cousins are nurses and doctors and business owners now, and it was all because of that path my mama took that journey on. So.
Hey, you know, the rest and relaxation is huge.
R&R.
If you guys are not getting rest and relaxation, make sure you are getting rest and relaxation, especially on these Mondays. And the reason why I called it Mindful Movement Mondays was because you come back from the weekend, and usually like the weekend is the weekend. You know, whatever you're doing on the weekend, Monday you go back to work.
Yeah.
And what happens with the body is if you're taking in the garbage, right, and you have to get up back on the schedule, your body has to adjust not only to the chronobiology of waking up to work, but your body also fights inflammation. So if you ever wake up on a Monday, you're like, man, I got
my shoulder now.
Yeah.
I ain't even playing. I couldn't barely sleep.
Right. You get it, right?
Absolutely.
And then you got to do, your lodge stuff, or, I got to get up. I got a, 6-year-old that's like, Daddy, they
play now.
Now, right now. I don't want to go to school, and it's, I had to wake up and brush. I had to wake up and brush hair, man. What am I brushing? Like, why? I forgot to do it at night. That's the reason.
Absolutely.
I was, we was kicking it. And so rest, relaxation is super important, but it's also part and parcel to your health. A lot of our elders are getting older because of what we did in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not, they may be 60 years old, but their bodies are 90.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember my father used to take me to the so we stayed in a certain part of town, but he was to take us around to his friends. A lot of his friends are gone now, so I can kind of talk about this. But he would take us to hang out with some of his friends, just hang out, just a couple minutes here and there. And they will always come up, hey, Sabir, what's up, man? Sabir, what's up? And no joke, some of his old running mates, and this was probably when my father was like close to 50, maybe early 50s, whatever.
Yeah.
And he would take us, maybe even sooner than that. He would take us and we would kick it with them, right? And while kicking with him, he'd be like, hey, you know how old he is? And he would like call the guys over and tell and we'd have to ask that question, like, hey, how old are you? And we're thinking like it's innocent. They'd be like, I'm 45. And these dudes would look like they're 70 years old. He was like, man, why do you look like that? He was like, Sabir, come on, man, Sabir. You can't be. And my father would be like, why do you look like that? Tell my boys why. And listen, he would, for real, these guys would for real tell the reason. And they reasons be like, man, I lived drinking, out on drugs, like cigarettes, like all whatever else was going on in their life.
Absolutely.
And they would be preaching to us while having a cigarette in their hand.
Yeah.
Or on their way to do whatever. And my father pull off and be like, man, go do what you got to do. I'm out. And we'll pull off, and that'll be our sermon.
Yeah.
And
that'll be all you needed to hear.
All we needed to hear. But in order to live a really long life, we do need rest.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's huge. That's why I think that when we think about Mindful Movement Mondays is, if we're going to start the week out right, this is the time to do it.
Absolutely.
Like I even covered the fact that one of the people's tenets whenever they try to start working out is they always say I'm gonna start on Monday.
Yeah.
Start on.
Hey, I done had about 100 Mondays this year alone. I done had 100 Mondays. Yeah.
100,
whatever. Start dieting. Start whatever. I'm gonna start Monday.
Yep. I'm gonna start Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do it all the time, man.
Yep.
I do it all the time. But I know that starting Mondays is not the way to, an extreme change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of people that do that.
Yeah. I think it's just easy because people feel like, it's the start of the week, it's a new week, I'm gonna start fresh and so forth. But the truth is, you start right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if we knew we were going to die on Tuesday, but there was preventative measures that we could be taking right now until Tuesday, you're not gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna start on Monday.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna do it on Monday. No, you're gonna start right away because now you have an expiration. But I think we get so comfortable and complacent with not knowing what our expiration date is.
Yeah.
So we think we have time, that we think we have another Monday in us, but it may not even be health. It could be you just driving on the street and now you got no more Mondays coming. So I just always, I've been working on just pushing that message is like, now is the time. Let's not put it off till Monday no more.
Now is the time.
And that's why I didn't start my diet this week on Monday.
You ain't started today?
No, I started it yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, tell me about your diet. What's going on?
So, no, man, like I said, I've been seeing, they got nice cameras here, man, and I just want to look nice and healthier.
Let me see.
Zach,
hey, pan over to us, man.
I want to see Manon showing how fit he is, and then he just zoomed in on my meatball head. But I just want to be healthier, man. I want to live a longer life, be here for my kids.
Yep.
Be able to see the fruits of my labor.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro, I want to eat healthier, cut back on drinking. You know what I mean? More like a wine, Cabernet type of guy now. Right. Eliminating sugars and unhealthy carbs. So that's been kind of my on and off diet. I was at 285 at my heaviest, man. Like,
oh wow!
Even before you
after
you came, I was probably like 250 when I came to you. Got down to like 230.
Yeah,
and then that was kind of my average weight. But then after Bao started eating real good, and then ballooned up to 285.
Yeah,
and I was like, yo, this ain't it, bro. And eliminated drinking, sugars, and unhealthy carbs, like all the starches and all of those things. And I got all the way down to 200.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I got to 200. I seen that and celebrated with cake. So here I am.
It wasn't even vegan cake, was it?
Absolutely not. But here I am now back at 245.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But wanting to be back at that 200, 220 level and get back in the gym, make sure the heart is strong and stuff. So that's kind of like where I'm at with the diet.
Yo, so if we're talking about rest, and also I think last segment we're talking about comparison culture, that influences us a little bit too. You know, even if you're not on social media like that and you're looking to do, influencer and all influencer stuff on social media, like some of that stuff one, that influencing, being an influencer in your community is huge. Like I think that if majority of our young folks seen people such as yourself, because lose weight, get in shape, like they will start to emulate the same, tactics.
Yeah.
I'm fasting today too.
Yeah.
So I woke up and today was like, all right, you know what? I'm not gonna eat. I'm not gonna eat probably for a good 2 days. I just need to just take a break.
2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not Muslim.
Are you out of your damn mind?
But I'm not Muslim, but I definitely participate in Ramadan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because of the discipline and the prayer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're praying like 7 times a day or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And you're not eating from sun up until sunset. And it's something that happens to me in them moments every time where I just feel like I've been reborn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when you come out of Ramadan, it's like, all right, how do I keep this momentum, right?
Yeah.
So, I love Ramadan. I love the practice of it. And I just love the discipline that the culture has for the mind, body, and spirit.
Right on. Hey, and we'll be right back. Make sure you hit us up on the chat. Truth Radio. We're gonna pay these
Babar
bills.
in the chat. Shouts out to everybody in the chat.
Yes, shout out. We'll be paying these bills.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
We're back on the Grapevine with Ray, Nitty, and Manan Sabir. That's me. Listen to us. We're talking health. Yes, and we're talking how expensive it is.
It is.
To be healthy. Is it really expensive?
Man, I think them fruits is especially if you want the organic stuff too, man.
Right.
Not the stuff that got all the pesticides and the preservatives that's really, in my opinion, hurting us some as well too.
Right. Yeah. You know, I think I was, as we was talking at the break, I was thinking about the 4 detoxes.
Yeah.
That we all, I always say our 4 levels of detoxification are urination, defecation, perspiration, and respiration. Breathing, defecating, sweating, and urination, defecation, and urinating, right? Yeah. So like, if we don't do all 4 of those every day, and I keep repeating this throughout like these segments, is if we don't do all 4 of those per day, you wind up holding back all of and holding in everything that is supposed to go out.
Right.
Right. Like it's so important. It's so important now. But if we're under stress, we miss at the very least one of those per day.
Yeah.
Especially, defecating, because, our body tries to constrict.
Yeah.
So it can conserve energy.
Yeah.
Kind of like when you're shivering, you ever shiver, get real cold, you get the shivers.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's what happens with the organs. Your organs start to vibrate, basically, and that's where the shivers come in. Yeah, I wish we have a biochemist doctor come that should be calling in soon. but that's what happens. Your body tries to conserve energy, and I think if we're not conserving that energy, if your body isn't conserving that energy, man, you're gonna be in trouble. I think we got a caller on line one. Line one.
Hey, how's it going? This is the caller.
What's up,
as I've been referred to for about 4 years.
The caller.
Nation.
Yeah.
Yes. I frequently talk to Sherwin and encourage him to work out more because you can be 60, 70, 80 and be in much better shape than people who are half your age. And I like to say that I'm proud that I'm an example of that as a person that was in the military when I was a young person, played sports my whole life. I never stopped the cardiovascular workouts.
Mm-hmm.
And even when you're busy and you're stressed, I heard recently someone talk about what's called workout snacks.
Mm.
You know, like if you're eating a full meal, that's something very nourishing and fulfilling. But throughout the day, just general movement that you might take for granted, just increasing that slightly. You know, when maybe when you run to the restroom, stretch.
Yeah.
Stretching before you get out of bed will be, I don't know how old you guys are, but as you get past 35, there are two things that I always encourage. You're 42?
I'm 22.
Encourage
I'm 22.
22. Oh.
No, I'm
okay.
just kidding. I'm 40.
So as you head toward 25 and beyond, the first thing that you will lose as far as your mobility is hip strength. So exercises that increase that hip mobility, stretching before your feet hit the ground, and knowing that every day you're getting a little bit older. I kind of knew that as a teenager even. I had like a knee injury playing sports. And so you feel old when you're injured. You understand what, your grandmother is going through when she has knee pain. So I think that injury kind of propelled me into bike riding and things that increase your heart rate. Because your metabolism is what it is. And there are a lot of people who are very slim. I want to tell Mr. Nitty, there are a lot of people who are really slim who are unhealthy. So a lot of times your weight, may be based on genetics, but your heart may actually be more healthy than somebody who's weighing 170 pounds.
Yeah, that's interesting
because you're fasting, and so that's good stuff there, brother.
Man, the caller, I really appreciate you, man.
Appreciate that.
Yes,
caller.
sir.
I appreciate y'all's show, man.
Yeah, keep
talking
listening.
about health, and can I give you two more things?
Yeah, go ahead.
From
go
a
ahead.
guy in the 50s?
Yeah, for sure.
Wheaties with fruit, as far as that defecating and getting.
Say that one more time. You said what with fruit? Could you say that one more time?
Wheaties or high fiber cereal.
Wheaties. Yep, Wheaties.
Another one is cashew cereal and fresh spinach, which is very inexpensive. You can get that at most grocery stores for $2 a bunch, and you can make salads for a day and a half with adding strawberries or blueberries, and you'll find yourself much more fulfilled by eating that, and maybe adding a little bit of chicken or some salmon with it, and keeping those carbs out of that, and that has worked for me.
Yo, the caller, I love that.
I'm definitely gonna try a little blueberry strawberry salad.
Yeah,
I haven't been a real fruit in my salad kind of guy, but I think it's time for some new healthier habits.
Yeah. I used to when I was lifting a lot of weights.
Yeah.
So I did an experiment on myself. So I did creatine, and then I did a creatine experiment. This is just for my body. I'm not giving advice to anybody. But I did an experiment on my body where I took creatine. I was lifting a lot of weights, man. I went from like 165 to 175. Now my body was maxing out at like 175, 76. I was big, back was big, everything. But to everybody else, it was like normal size.
Yeah.
However, you could see it. Then I took away the creatine for like maybe a couple weeks, and then I started eating bags of spinach. Yeah. Bags of spinach with I think blueberries and raisins, and I would just mix it up and start eating the bags of spinach. Man, the gains I saw were just as much as the gains I saw when I was eating the creatine.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Like I was like, okay, so this is what eating spinach and vegetables could do.
Yeah.
I didn't know how valuable vegetables were in relationship to working out until then.
Man, somebody said something. I can't remember what program or what I was listening to, but they was like, look at the silverback gorilla.
Yeah.
How
exactly.
massive that animal is. It doesn't eat meat. It said it just eats berries and things like spinach and grass and twigs.
Bananas,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So it's like, okay. look at what it's doing for that muscle mass and
Right.
so forth. So that always stood with me. Like, dang, that is true. Silverback gorilla definitely don't eat meat.
Yeah. Do you feel better? Like when I eat healthier, I feel I guess easy. I feel very, easy. And you get into like this real high endorphin state. I feel like I'm just good. Like I can take the stress. But the moment I eat wrong and bad, it's like all the stress just comes. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, oh man, I just ate this fried chicken.
Ooh, for sure. Fried foods if we listen to our body, it'll tell us how it feels, like how you use the restroom after certain things that you. If you got to go right to the restroom after, your body probably that ain't a movement. That's a rejection. So for me, like pork, my body does not.
Oh yeah,
and I know you. It's just. For you, it's like what?
You should have seen the dream I had.
You can't
last
even say
night.
that word.
Crazy
that word
dream last night. Yeah.
So, but pork was tearing me up, tearing my stomach up. Man, I feel sick, nauseous. But it's like, dang, I love ribs. You know what I mean? But it's like I had to get that up.
Yeah.
Fried food, even like, how your body reacts to fried food.
Right.
You could tell, and man, it's just. Certain things just don't sit right in our bodies, and we just got to pay attention to our bodies and how it reacts to certain foods.
That's right. Hey, we got Ray Nitty in the co-host machine box booth microphone. He's in the Truth radio station 101.7, and the Grapevine. He's going to be filling in for me later on and he's going to interview a good friend of mine, real good friend of mine, named Jeff Lewis. He's a financial literacy coach. He's coming up. So you guys make sure you tune in at 3:00. But real quick, if you are using the restroom in terms of that detoxification, make sure it floats. Because if it go down, that means you got a lot of acid inside of your body. Yeah.
So if it's floating, you good.
It's floating, you good. If it goes straight to the bottom, you bad.
Dang.
We're going to pay these bills. Thank you for tuning in to the Truth radio station. We're going to come back with Ray Nitty and the Grapevine.
At UW Credit Union, our home loans have everything you need for your next big step, including up to $750 off closing costs for all home buyers. And first-time buyers can save even more. So if you're ready to trade roomies for more room, or your townhome for an out-of-town home, UW Credit Union will be with you from start to furnished. UW Credit Union. Apply online today. Equal housing lender. Credit may be limited as required by program. Visit uwcu.org for details.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way. Improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to health care and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
You're listening to Milwaukee Black Talk on 101.7 FM.
The Truth.
And 1510 AM. W269DL. Milwaukee. A Milwaukee Black media company.
Milwaukee, good afternoon. How are you doing? You are now tuned in to the Grapevine on the Truth 101.7 FM, live in the American Family Insurance Studios, located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee in the 3rd Street Market Hall. I am your fill-in for today, Ray Nitty, filling in for Manan on the Grapevine. He'll be back, man. Don't go anywhere. He'll be right back. I'm just filling in for a little bit for y'all. Hope everything has been going well. We are talking about mental health and just mindfulness in general and taking that time to take care of ourselves and so forth. I wanted to get into a story that recently broke today. Just switching the gears a little bit as we wait for our next interview to start with Brother Jeff Lewis. But just something for us to pay attention to. I don't know if you all have been up on the situation with the CEO of the Wisconsin Center District, Marty Brooks. I'm just read a couple things for you all. So after months of meeting in private about the future of Wisconsin Center District CEO Marty Brooks, the organization's board voted in public Monday morning to fire him. The reason, according to one board member, was misuse of district credit cards for more than $50,000 in expenses, including political contributions. In a unanimous vote of those participating, Brooks was terminated for cause. One board member abstained. Brooks has been embattled for months, first with the accusation that he pinched the butt of board member Jose Perez at a fundraiser. Jose is also the Common Council president as well. So he pinched his butt at a fundraiser last year, and then with board concerns over $145,000 study that Brooks entered in unilaterally, which recommended replacing the Miller High Life Theater with a convention center and hotels. But according to board member Bob Bauman, neither of these things led directly to the firing. So they're saying he spent upwards of $50,000 to $60,000 on numerous things like expensive shoes, and some even said they said he even gave political contributions as well, which is funny to me because one of the political contributions they're saying he gave was allegedly to Alderman Jose Perez. So I would like to hear y'all thoughts. Call in 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. We are just talking about the state of our city. And ironically enough, we had last week just talking about, is Are leaders destroying our city? And is this another example of companies or people that has, and just for context, Marty's salary is about $400,000 a year, if I'm not mistaken. That's a pretty bag. So $400,000 a year, but still allegedly accused of misappropriating $50,000 to $60,000. Are we turning too many blind eyes to mismanagement of funds in the city of Milwaukee? And who's paying the ultimate price for it? If you know about the Wisconsin Center District, they are receiving it's a specific tax. I'll make sure I get the name for you, but it's a tax essentially that I want to say hotels and other organizations pay into, but that's how they get their funds. And they also fund things like the Visit Milwaukee and things like that gets supported out of that. So just would like to hear y'all thoughts. So if you have something to say about that, please give us a call. But I think we have our interview on the line right now. So we will go to line 1 to speak to brother Jeff Lewis.
What's going on?
Jeff, how you doing, man? I'm filling in for your
man.
boy Manon.
Man, pleasure to meet you. It's an honor to be on the call today.
Man, I just want to give the people a little background about you, and if I miss something, please chime in. Okay. Jeff Lewis II is Vice President and Wealth Advisor in the Los Angeles office of Bernstein Private Wealth Management. I know Manon also said you were at Charles Schwab's as well.
Prior. About, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago now?
Okay, 4 or 5 years ago now. So you are President and Wealth Advisor at Bernstein Private Wealth Management, where he specializes in guiding business owners, athletes, entertainers, and nonprofits through complex financial landscapes. He focuses on building enduring relationships grounded in trust and a shared vision for the future. Before starting at the firm in 2024, he served as regional vice president at Fisher Investments, senior financial consultant at TD Ameritrade, and financial advisor at McAdam Financial. Jeff holds a bachelor's in financial planning and services financial planning and services from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where he also played running back and competed in 3 Big Ten championships and Rose Bowls. Jeff is a certified financial planner professional. He is actively involved in the LA Advisory Board for the Hidden Genius Project, the Wisconsin Alumni Association, at the W Club. Jeffrey resides in Los Angeles with his wife and their 2 young boys. Did I do a decent job, brother Jeff? Did I miss anything or misspoke on anything?
Perfect, man. You hit it right on the head.
Man, how you doing, man? I know the weather is beautiful out there.
It's good, man. We're spoiled out here, but I will say, it's always nice, but it's a different vibe when you compare being nice out here to being nice in the Midwest. Because in the Midwest, you get 12 weekends where it's gonna be nice. So
man, that's
if
it's 12.
Happy out and about. It's just a regular day in LA. It's always sunny. So I would say if you want to the energy and the environment of a city, I would definitely take the Midwest in the summertime over any day in LA, because people just take it for granted,
Got it for sure, man. Yeah. I know I don't take it for granted being born and raised in the Virgin Islands and moving to Wisconsin weather. So I always enjoy a trip to LA, man. I always enjoy a trip to LA. Man, so this is a very important call. So I want to let's dive into it, man.
Yeah, man, let's go right into it.
I want to talk to your relationship with money, right? What does a healthy relationship with money look like? How do our families and life experiences shape our money habits? What's one common money mistake you see people make? And how can someone improve their financial mindset? There's a lot I want to ask. I don't think I'm going to get to all my questions, but I would love to, because, we got IPOs happening this week, all types of stuff happening this week. So I'd love to get into this. I look forward to the knowledge.
Yeah, man. So the first portion of your question, what does a healthy relationship with money look like? I would say when you are in control of your finances, not letting your finances be in control of you. So what that actually comes down to is just your day-to-day and how you spend money and how you have a foundation around what money means to you. And so I often tell people you should always pay yourself first, opposed to spending that money out elsewhere. And so paying yourself is just putting away like 10% of your paycheck, right, into a savings account or preferably an investment account that's going to grow over time in the stock market. You mentioned SpaceX, Anthropic, all these companies are going public. So whenever companies go public, that means it's a huge, amount of people who are getting very, very wealthy over that time period. I often tell, I relate it to sports. So you know how, NBA draft night or NFL draft day where you see these people walking on stage getting paid millions of dollars. In the corporate America, that is their version of that, right? So when these companies IPO, the people who have been there from early on days or the first couple of employees or first 100, I mean, these people are instant millionaires like overnight. And so, a healthy relationship with money is ensuring that like even if you're not a SpaceX employee, that you are the individual who is, being really, really smart around your finances. And that starts with day one of just how you treat your money and your relationship with money. So opposed to going out and buying and spending all your money, like pay yourself first and then go out and do the things that you need to do.
Yep. So generational wealth, right? I feel like in our community, freedom is the ultimate goal, right? And freedom may look different for numerous people, but how do we create generational wealth in today's climate? And what's your advice for managing debt? And what's the first step to creating a budget?
Yeah. So generational wealth is something that has to be spoken to at the dinner table, right? So if, oftentimes if you compare the wealth gap in America from black and brown folks to white folks, this is generational curses that we have been fighting against where we weren't even able to purchase houses, right? If you go back to the 50s and 60s. And now we're really feeling the effects of that. So oftentimes when people pass away and their grandparents or their parents left them houses or trusts or all this money, a lot of that wasn't even feasible for black and brown folks. But the way to address that moving forward is to be on your P's and Q's. So investing in things that are actually going to grow, right? Like real estate. I'm not the one to shade folks who are spending money on whether it be shoes or jewelry or diamonds, because everybody has their interests, but you want to invest in things that are actually going to appreciate over time. Cars actually depreciate over time unless you're investing in like collectibles, like classic cars. Most cars are going to lose their value as soon as you drive them off the lot. So, as a wealth advisor, people are asking me like, how can I create generational wealth? First and foremost is opening up an investment account and saving 5 to 10% of what you make per year. Buying real estate, right? You want to be able to own equity so you can pass it down to your kids and grandkids. And the only way that we're going to have generational wealth is if we invest in assets that grow over time. So whether that be the stock market, it'd be real estate, interest in private equity. If you own a business, right, maybe you want to pass that down to your children. Those are the ways that we are able to address the financial wealth. And then in regards to your question on debt, not all debt is bad. Obviously, you want to avoid the credit card debt, the high interest bearing debt that can kill you over time because the interest rates on those are 20-30%. But good debt is like buying real estate, right? Because you are able to take appreciation in the property and hopefully sell it at a premium or at a profit over time. So not all debt is bad debt, but you want to stay away from the credit card debt, the fast cash loan places that charge you really, really high interest debt, right? Those types of places.
So in this climate, everything is so pricey. Inflation is on the rise. What is your suggestion on how much should people have in an emergency fund?
Yeah, it's a great question. So as a certified financial planner or CFP, it's like the gold standard of how one should, quote unquote, live their lives. So the CFP board says that everybody should have 3 to 6 months of pure cash or living expenses in savings at all times. So if you were to lose your job tomorrow, right, and you spend $5,000 a month, you should have 15,000 that is either in savings or it can be quickly liquidated through other investments as your safe haven. If you're a dual income household, they would say you can actually err on the side of 3 months opposed to the 6 months, but they say 3 to 6 months is the general rule of thumb. Now, problem that we run into today is, as you mentioned, everything is so expensive. So I think I was reading an article in Wall Street Journal that said groceries are up like 150% since 2020.
Yep.
So where we get into the problem is things are getting more expensive, but despite things getting more expensive, the biggest trap that people run into is saying, I'm going to start saving and I'm going to start living the right way when I start making X amount of money.
Yep.
And that's the wrong way to think about saving and investing and just having a relationship with money. So the amount of people that I've met who, you know, when I got out of college and they were making 50, 60 grand a year and they said, hey, when I start making 6 figures, I'm going to save 5 to 10% of my income. But if they weren't already saving 5 to 10% of their income when they were making half the money, then they weren't going to do it when they, you know, started making 6 figures. Because what happens is you just level up, right? You get a nicer apartment that you live at, you buy a nicer car, you go out to eat more often. And that's why I said, you know, just a few minutes back, it's all about how your relationship with money starts. So the quicker that you can set a foundation and actually create those habits early on, whether you make $100,000 a year, $50,000, $1 million a year, it's creating a system, just like a muscle, right?
Yeah.
And things become muscle memory for you. So that's the best way to attack generational wealth, live within your means, start actually saving and investing over time, is to just build it into your lifestyle, no matter how much money you make.
Yeah. So I'm excited about this segment, right? We're talking about stocks and investing. So I follow these homies, Earn Your Leisure and the homie Ian Dunlap, right? And he has this this motto that he goes by: 2 tech, 2 index, and invest in quality companies and hold for 10 plus years, right? That sounds so easy to say, right? Asking somebody somebody that may be living paycheck to paycheck, right? And you said whether it's $50,000, $1 million, or whatever. And realistically, how many people really do have $50,000 to get started, right? What is your advice, and what is investing really, and how can beginners get started that may not have that 50,000 or even 5,000? And then I'd like for you to touch on ETFs, mutual funds, and which is best for most people. And then I have a second half of questions, but I'll let you hit that first half first.
Okay. So the beauty of this internet age that we're in, you can go create an account in 5 minutes.
Yep.
And that account is as simple as going to Fidelity.com, CharlesSchwab.com, all these discount brokers that will allow you to have an investment account. It could be even Acorns, right?
Yep.
The app that you it rounds up to the nearest dollar, and it puts that money into an investment account where you can buy stocks and bonds. I am on the side of buying ETFs because ETFs, you track an index, but also they're low cost. So if you already have somebody who doesn't have a ton of capital to invest, they want to be cognizant about like where the fees are going if they're paying any. So ETFs have little to no fees at all. So I'm more biased on ETFs rather than mutual funds. And
could you real quickly let people know what an ETF stands for?
Yeah, so ETF is an exchange traded fund. So it tracks a basket of stocks and or bonds.
Yep.
The most common that people hear about when they watch the news and they say the market's up today, typically going to be talking about the S&P 500, which tracks the 500 largest companies in the United States. Now, generally, most common companies that you hear are like the tech companies, the FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, right? But you can also buy an index that's the Dow. The Dow Jones is, 30 top companies. the biggest takeaway is that it allows you to diversify your risk, right?
Yeah.
So instead of going out and saying, I'm going to put, $100 on Nike, I'm just going to go buy that index, because you much rather have 500 stocks rather than one stock, because now all your eggs are in one basket. So it definitely diversifies the risk. It smooths out the volatility over time. But this is something that, people can literally go online and make an account in 5 minutes. And once you have the investment account, then you can start to experiment and say, all right, I'm going to put $20 into this index or to this ETF, or $50 or $100. So to your point, you don't need 50,000, 100,000. Like, start something small, $5. They even let people buy partial shares now. So there really is no excuse in regards to the amount of money that people have. They just have to take the initiative and do it.
Next question. What do you think about day trading? I know I have my thoughts about it. Could you let folks know what day trading is and your thoughts about it?
Yeah. So on the private wealth side, which is where I've been working my entire career, I am more focused on long term. So personally, I don't do day trading, nor do I advise on it. But I do know a statistic that says like 80% of day traders actually lose money. They don't make money.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not to say everybody who does it doesn't make money, but it's a difficult industry to be in. Essentially, you're either trading futures, currencies. You might just be trading stocks, right? You're looking to make the edge. If you see earnings are coming out with Google tomorrow, your bet is that, they're going to beat earnings or they're going to lose earnings, and you're trying to hedge a bet on if they're going to do better or worse. It's a lot of work. It's not my expertise, right? I tell people that all the time. If you want to day trade, that's on you. Like, what I do is I advise on long-term wealth. So if you told me I want to retire in 20 years, send my kids to college, live on $100,000, $200,000 a year, I'm going to be able to do the math and say, this is exactly what you need to do from now until then. So that's my 2 cents on day trading.
Got it. Yeah, day trading is extremely risky and volatile. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't have the the mental patience for day trading. It's a huge IPO coming out, right? And a lot of people are moving funds and getting ready for this IPO, right? And they're saying many new millionaires will be made. I'm watching all of the TV shows and the road shows that they're doing about it, CNBC's and everything. I would love to get your thoughts on this IPO. Some people would say, don't invest in the IPO right now. Wait for the stock to settle and reset itself and then get in. But then you have a sector saying, hey, this IPO is different. But data shows that the last 5 to 10 years, IPOs have significantly dropped 55% since their IPO. So I would love to get your thoughts on that. And if any of the listeners are thinking about investing in the SpaceX IPO or the Anthropic or the OpenAI IPOs that are coming out, and your thoughts on if they're getting caught into a trap or are they ahead of the game?
Absolutely. So this is it's a great question. It's the first thing I want to do is take a step back, and I tell people, if you're going to invest in an IPO or let alone anything, you want to ensure that the money that you're investing, you're not going to need it in the next 3 to 6 to 12 months, right? So you always want to go into an investment with a long-term time horizon of, do I need this money? And if I do need it in the next 6 to 12 months, can I weather the storm if it does lose 20 to 30 to 40%, right?
Yeah.
You have to know that just comes with investing. Yeah. Then I would say, okay, we actually did a research report on this, and you hit it right on the head. Most IPOs lose like 50% of their value within the first several months because it's a lot of volatility. You have a bunch of people who were early employees who are selling their stock, right? So they're walking away with their gains.
Yeah.
But then also the market has their viewpoints on, is the company over or undervalued? This is all these different mechanisms that are affecting that stock price day to day.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what happens is after about 3 months, the dust settles. But you have to remember that if you're going to invest in an IPO, this is not a let me get rich overnight type of thing.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
stock may pop up, but the likelihood that it's going to stay stagnant is nearly 0%, right? It's probably going to be real high, real low. So you just have to understand the risks that are warranted when you step into that. I do think long term it could definitely be a really strong company. Like Elon Musk is a smart guy. The guy, he has a bunch of success in the past with Tesla and all his other ventures. But if you look at the IPOs of like Google when they first IPO'd, or Facebook, which is now Meta, right? Those companies have grown substantially since their IPO.
What was that?
Right?
Facebook IPO to like $40 or something?
Yeah, I think if you would have invested in like Google since inception, like the rate of return year over year is like 25-30%. But what they don't tell you is like in 2007, 2008, you would have lost like half your investment when the markets were down. Right? You always gonna have volatility, but you have to have that long-term time horizon and know that I'm gonna get in. It's gonna be up. It's gonna be down. But over time, I'm gonna make money. But if you're just buying an IPO to make money within the next month or two, like I would say, that's not the most sound way to do it.
Yeah, I could attest to that from personal recent experience. In excitement, waiting for SpaceX and everything, I jumped into the Cerberus IPO extremely early, and seeing it rise and rise, I'm like, and knowing everything, you need to have the mental discipline to be like, wait, sit on your hands, don't get too excited by what you're seeing, wait, because it's going to retest and show all of these things. So I ended up buying a bunch of shares of Cerberus at $355, right? A share.
Okay.
Today, yesterday, Cerberus was at like $218. So
prime example.
So I took a loss on that, and because I was waiting for SpaceX, which I really had that money funded in the account for, I ended up selling those shares and essentially losing roughly $250 per share on that Cerberus IPO. Now I'm gonna re-get in at a lower value, but that is a real life example of exactly what you were speaking on, and you kind of highlighted it, but I would like for you to just reiterate what risk should every investor understand.
They often say past performance is not an indication of future gains, and that couldn't be more apparent, right? So it's always going to be risked, right? When you're investing in the stock market, $1 today is not going to be worth $1, tomorrow, what it is. But the only way to actually grow wealth in this country that we're in is to invest. You have to invest in either the stock market, real estate. Like, there has to be something that's growing at a pace that keeps up with the economy, right? So inflation typically is around 2 to 3% a year. Lately, it's been much higher because you have the oil debacle with the Strait of Hormuz and all that.
Yeah.
So all those things are passed down to the consumer. So when groceries get higher because oil is more expensive, that means you trying to go visit your family across the country now, like all those price increases, that's inflation. And the only way to counter that is to invest in asset classes that will keep up and or outpace inflation. And historically speaking, it's only two asset classes that have done that consistently over the past 50 or 100 years, and it's the stock market and it's real estate. All right, gold is a good inflation hedge, but if you look at it across the board, the stock market will give you 8 to 10% a year on average, whereas gold typically just keeps up with inflation, and then you might have spikes here and there. So the net is to invest, but you have to understand the risk that you're taking as well.
Man, well, this went so fast, bro. I wish we had some more time, but can you please real quickly tell the people where they could find you or any information you'd like to share before we go to break?
Yeah, man. So on LinkedIn, Jeffrey Lewis II. My Instagram handle is JLew Financially Fit. Always open to helping folks out. Those are my two sources to hit me up there.
Man, well, I will definitely be hitting you up, Jay Lewis, because I need some more financial discipline on not jumping in these IPOs early. But thank you once again for joining us on the Grapevine. I am your host, Ray Nitty, filling in for the homie Manon, live on The Truth, 101.7 FM. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You are now swinging from the Grapevine on The Truth, 101.7 FM, located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee in the 3rd Street Market Hall, live from the American Family Insurance Studios. I am your boy Ray Nitty, filling in for Manon Sabir. We just had the homie Jeff Lewis on, who brought us a lot of amazing information on financial literacy, the state of the current investment market, different ways to generate generational wealth. And one thing that he said is, though, one of the only ways to really generate wealth is to invest. So we need to do more investing as a community. I wish we had enough time to get into the cryptocurrency conversation, but yeah, that was a real amazing interview. So I wanted to go back real quick and see if anybody wanted to call in. 833-212-1017. The number is 833-212-1017 to talk about the recent news. Marty Brooks fired today from Wisconsin Center District for misappropriating funds of $50,000 to $60,000, spending it on things like they said, like expensive shoes. I can't remember if they said trips, but also gave donations to a couple political officials as well. So do you all think that the leaders we have in place is just driving Milwaukee into further debt and just really just not doing a good job at pushing our city forward? 833-212-1017 is the number to call. But as we are back on our mindfulness stuff, I just wanted to go back on some stuff Manon was talking about before he had to step out. I don't think we meditate enough as a culture, as a community. I would love to see meditation implemented in our public school system And maybe it already has and I'm just not aware of it, but there should be more meditation in our school systems from young, not just high school when they're thinking kids are unreachable or whatever the case may be. But I think we need to really take that time to invest in our minds and just chilling out for a second. It's okay to just be still and breathe. And as I stated earlier, when I was introduced to meditation, it was one of the darkest spots in my life. I was questioning so many things around me, people, friends, associates, business relationships, and just feeling mentally overwhelmed with the world. And I just want to know, has anybody just felt mentally overwhelmed to the point where you didn't know what to do? And how did you end up pulling yourself out of that? Once again, the number is 833-212-1017. And is it Mindful Movement Mondays is what he calls it, I think. Mindful Movement Mondays. And ironically, it is Men's Mental Health Month. I did not know that. So what a fitting topic. I do think as men, we need to take care of our mental health a lot more. We need to take that time to put thought between thought and reaction. And we'll get more into that soon as we come back from this break. Don't go anywhere. I am your host, filling in for Manan Sabir on the Grapevine on the Truth 101.7 FM.
Dreaming of owning your first home? Don't settle for a fixer-upper. Build a brand new home with Milwaukee Habitat for Humanity. They partner with first-time buyers to make home ownership possible with little to no down payment and a team that's on your side every step of the way. Even if you're just starting to explore what's possible, they're here to help you take the next step. If your household earns between $55,000 and $90,000 a year, you may qualify. Visit MilwaukeeHabitat.org to learn more.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Every basketball fan is locked in on the NBA Finals between the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks, headlined by two stars that are almost polar opposites. For the Knicks is the undersized and crafty guard Jalen Brunson, whose clutch performances in the playoffs have put him in rare air in New York City alongside Yankees superstar slugger Aaron Judge. Joe Pirello is former chief marketing officer for the city of New York, and he spoke to Bloomberg about how marketable both Brunson and Judge are.
What I can see is they're really good people. If you're going to consider an athlete or a celebrity, the number one thing that matters is their character. I think that both Aaron and Jalen pass those tests.
Brunson also turned down a lot of money, taking a cheaper deal from the New York Knicks to allow them more flexibility to add co-stars to its roster. A selfless gesture that New York fans have eaten up. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Welcome back. It is your boy Ray Nitty filling in for Manan Sabir on the Grapevine on the Truth 101.7 FM, located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, the American Family Insurance Studio. This beat kind of fire, man. Who is this, Zach?
It's just from Universal.
Shouts out to Universal for the free beats, man. Men's Mental Health Month. I just want to read some stats here. Men's mental health faces a critical crisis driven by high rates of untreated depression, externalized stress behaviors, and disproportionately high suicide mortality. Societal stigmas and outdated masculine norms cause approximately, hear this out now, 40% of men to never speak about their mental health. That's a lot. 40% of men never speak about their mental health. High risk, right? They say men are nearly 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women, accounting for approximately 75% to 80% of all suicide-related deaths. I'm going to read that again. Men are nearly 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women, accounting for approximately 75% to 80% of all suicide-related deaths.
Damn.
So, correlation, right? 40% of us are not even talking. We never speak about our mental health, the state of our mind, and so forth, which I feel has been causing a rise in what I would say is men not being able to properly deal with their emotions that lead to them physically harming women, lead to them making terrible choices with their kids, abusing kids and so forth. They're taking it out on somebody else because we have so much going on in our minds that we're not even talking about it. Why aren't men talking about their mental health? Is it because we don't want to feel soft? We don't want to be vulnerable? We don't want to come off as if we, don't got it together? It's okay to not be okay. And I think as men, specifically black men, we should have more groups, or get in our group chats. Let's talk about it more. We should have more spaces. And I'm not saying that none doesn't exist, because I know there's a few organizations that does a lot surrounding men's health, right? Men's mental health. But I think as men, we need to be more proactive with making it normal within our communities to talk to one another and just be like, yo, bro, are you okay? Are you cool? I see you've been operating under a little stress and you've been saying some wild stuff in the chat, bro. So, like, what can I do to be an ear? And sometimes people just want an ear that they could lean on and say the things that they need to say without judgment, without fear of being ridiculed or cast aside, or being looked at as if is it okay to say the word crazy in this society? People don't want to come off as like, oh, they think I'm crazy or something. So we need more of these groups that we could have these conversations with and be vulnerable as men and talk about the things. I'm going to read this one more time for you all. Men are nearly 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women, accounting for approximately 75 to 80% of all suicide-related deaths. Please call in 833-212-1017. We'd love to hear from you. 833-212-1017. How are you dealing with your mental health? How are you going about your days, and are you not talking about it? Why are you not talking about it? Or is it just because you aren't comfortable, or you just don't feel like you have a safe place to express yourself? Leading killer. Suicide is the leading cause of death for men under the age of 50. That's another stat. Suicide is the leading cause of death for men under the age of 50. Undiagnosed. Alarming data shows that 60% of men who die by suicide had no previously documented mental health conditions. So all the data is there that points towards that we need to have more conversations. We need to be more proactive about these conversations with mental health. And how are we going to look out for our friends, check in on our friends? As a black man, I know I could do a better job at calling the homies and be like, hey, bro, how you doing? And not just leaving women out of this, too, because I think black women have an extreme amount of mental stress that they are put under in today's society. So where is the support groups? How can we be better as community in being there for each other when it comes down to our mental health? And we could start bringing down these numbers. And they got stats too about some of the prevalent conditions, but we're going to go to a break real quick before we get into some of these prevalent conditions. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to The Grapevine on the Truth 101.7 FM.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling. The limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Grapevine 101.7 FM. That's right. I'm glad you didn't go anywhere. Live from the American Family Insurance Studio in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, located in the 3rd Street Market Hall. Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. We getting into the prevalence of conditions. So we talked about the statistics, and now we're about to get into some prevalence of the conditions. Depression and anxiety. While women report higher rates of diagnosed depression, millions of men struggle with mental health issues. Over 6 million American men experience depression annually, though it often goes misdiagnosed. Substance abuse. Men are significantly more likely to use alcohol and drugs as a coping mechanism, with rates of alcohol dependence and binge drinking far exceeding those of women. Let's pause on this real quick. So we have men not talking about mental health. We have men not going to get it diagnosed. We have suicide rates 4 times higher in men. And now we are looking at the prevalence conditions, depression and anxiety, substance abuse. So now we have all of these thoughts in our heads, mental issues that men may be dealing with, and now we add substances into the mix. What do we think happens when you add those substances to the mix and you're also dealing with all of these different mental demons that you're trying to keep under wraps? Well, we know what happens when we have a drink or two. We turn into a different person. You know, some people. Some people. So imagine somebody who's dealing with all of that, and then now they're intoxicated, high, whatever the case may be. I see Manan is back. Come join me, Manan. Now we have somebody who's drunk, intoxicated, and dealing with mental instabilities, and now no longer in control of their actions because the substances are in play now. Now that leads to potential domestic violence issues, abuse issues, negligence, leaving loaded weapons around where kids could get to them and harm themselves. Mm-hmm. How do we put a balance on this, Manan? I don't know if you was able to catch some of what we were talking about. Just to bring you up to speed, we're just going through some of the statistics. Approximately 40% of men never speak about their mental health.
Right.
75 to 80% of all suicide-related deaths are men. Mm-hmm. Men are nearly 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women.
Right.
Suicide is the leading cause of death for men under the age of 50.
Mm-hmm.
And data shows that 60% of men who die by suicide had no previously documented mental health condition.
Man. And these are all modern statistics. Mm-hmm. These are today's up-to-date statistics.
Yep. And then here's another one. I'll leave you with this. Mm-hmm. Up to 90% of individuals diagnosed with schizophrenia before the age of 30 are men.
I think we're looking at a society that is born into stress. If you look at living in the Caribbean, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you see the kids living in the Caribbean, they are foreign to the idea of someone in their family having major, in wide variety, major mm-hmm. amounts of mental health conditions. Mm-hmm. You can almost ask any of your relatives in St. Lucia. Mm-hmm. I can ask some of my friends in Jamaica, and especially some of the rural areas, like, hey, look, are you familiar with schizophrenia? Are you mm-hmm. familiar with bipolar diseases? Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they are not. And I think, if we're looking at it from a 30,000 foot view, mm-hmm. we have individuals that are suffering from these conditions based upon the trauma that has been ingested from 400 years ago, 300 years ago, 200 years ago. My great grandfather fought his way through Reconstruction. So he was a prize fighter, and then he wound up teaching my grandfather how to fight. But in that prize fighting, we were handed fighting naturally. But it also came with trauma. It was a line of trauma that came through our DNA. And it's something that's it shakes out, throughout time. And it may not hit right away. It may not have hit his son, who was my grandfather. It may hit somebody else, 100 years from now.
Yeah. Man, how you welcome back, man. This is your show. Take it away. Take it back, man. Take it back,
look, you filling in now.
Man, and you back.
You like peanut butter and jelly.
Man, come on now. Chunky or smooth?
Smooth. We don't want chunky no more.
Yeah, man. So but no, I just thought that based on the conversation that we were having earlier, it just prompted me to look up some of these stats, and these recent stats these were from Anxiety and Depression Association. This is where those where these stats came from. But I just think it was very important, man, that we continue to have these conversations. And I also think it's important to move past the conversations and what does action look like.
Right.
Because I think as a society, we do an amazing job of having conversations around things, but where is the activation around these things? And I think within myself, I'm going to work on seeing how I could do more to be on the activation side, and not just the conversation side. But take it home, Anon.
Hey, let's make sure that we always tune in to 101.7 The Truth Radio. This is the Grapevine. We got Jazz, Tyler, and Meech coming up with a tap in. Hey, we're going to pay these bills, but before we pay these bills, make sure you pull somebody up. Don't pull away. Let's go.
Don't go anywhere.
Yeah.